Hello everyone and welcome back to the Summit 3 presented by Gigabyte. We're in the China Qualifiers in the final best of 5 series here between EHOME and LGD Gaming, and we just came off of game number 3, and what a game 3 it was for LGD, and specifically maybe on that Shadow Fiend. My lord, he ends that series, what, 15-1. He puts together some of the fastest items I've ever seen, going right for a blink, then BKB, S&Y, and he just takes so many names that EHOME are just forced to tap out before any base damage is really done. And now we're quickly hopping away into game 4 action, and EHOME desperately will need to get a win here just to take it to a game 5. I'm Kyle Guy, bringing all the coverage here from Beyond the Summit, and I'm not going at it alone. I got another Beyond the Summit buddy with me. It's Gods joining me remotely, and well, Gods, the troll pact is off apparently as EHOME do pick it up, but they don't find any success with it. It was just still all LGD. I'm curious to see where the troll's going to end up now.
I don't see it getting picked up until like maybe 3rd or 4th pick. I think for now teams are going to go with the strong picks that have been working for them. LGD maybe snag their Lena, I want to say, maybe the Shadow Fiend again. They actually go Wisp here as their Roman. Wisp Tiny, okay, you have 2-1 and you say let's pull out something new. This is to me the impressive thing. LGD have just pulled out a different strategy pretty much every single game in some ways. Game 2 it was the Sylar Lycan taking over the game. That game 3 was maybe on the Shadow Fiend. This team seems to have a lot of options as far as players who can take control of the game. Whether it's Sylar, whether it's maybe, whether it's a support duo of Zhao and MMY. They just seem to have that bit of added depth to the team which EHOME seem to be lacking right now.
10 seconds to pick.
The last time they ran this with Tiny was just 2 days ago, and it was against EHOME, and that game ended in 13 minutes.
Reserve time.
EHOME, they better hope that this time they can kind of put a bit of a better stand. The last time they went against it, who were they playing? They tried to do their best matching it up. They had a Tidehunter that they hoped that was going to be a good answer. They ran with the Bristleback. They had the Shadow Fiend, and it just clearly was not enough. So LGD, I mean, they must be really confident to just open with this 1-2 punch. So what do EHOME do from here? They see this, and the counters that pop out to me, I mean, support-wise, you got your Witch Doctor, you got your Ancient Apparition who can help with being able to nerf down the sustain capability of the Wisp. A Viper might need to be something they consider. I mean, how much do they put into countering this Wisp Tiny, and as opposed to how much they just kind of build their own draft? They see this, and they're already taking a bit of extra time as far as what they're going to do with their second pickup.
I'm wondering, you want to get maybe like a Witch Doctor, or you want to get something that can, I feel like, deal with the Wiz Tiny in some way, be it a support like a Witch Doctor, an ROTK hero like a Tidehunter maybe, that you can have the Ravage ready when they come in. An Axe is okay, but I feel like they definitely need to start gearing up for ways of dealing with this Wisp Tiny.
Witch Doctor.
And there we go. Witch Doctor it'll be. I think this is the best as far as supports go. People talk about like Disruptor with a glimpse back, but I feel like it's kind of a bit too gimmicky and doesn't actually deal with the big problem necessarily. Like, yeah, you can strand the Tiny, but Witch Doctor Cask is like a much stronger way of laning and just having a more overall balanced, well-rounded hero that can team fight a bit better.
EHOME already taking preemptive measures. They know that the last time they had to face this big duo, LGD also benefited from that brew, and it's just another go-to pick they'll love to get later in the draft if it still happens to be out there. EHOME not looking to allow that. And they could also,
5 seconds remain.
Decide to throw this Queen of Pain elsewhere. I was going to say off lane, but I don't see ROTK as one to run with the Queen of Pain in the off lane, but they could throw it safe lane and do the ROTK Tidehunter in the mid lane. They could do what they, I believe, tried to do last time was what they had ZYF on the Bristleback and put him in the mid lane, because you're going to have someone to deal with the potential dual lane ahead of you. I mean, Queen of Pain can be able to do it, but she doesn't really have much to stop them, and there's still just plenty of lockdown and burst potential that even with that blink, it just might not be enough. Earthshaker works good against the Tiny Wisp, knowing that they're already going to be, compacted together. A quick fissure from the dark, and as soon as they show up, they could be locked in place, and it's a nice grab right there. And
seems like a bit of a deny pick as well, because Yao's just been running that 2 games in a row in the off lane. He's been solid. Like, it hasn't been amazing. It's more just been like he gets XP out of the lane, and then he's just been like a supporter shaker in the sense like it's all about that fissure. We haven't seen big Blink Echo slams, but I think it's a decent deny pick, even if it hasn't been like a game-changing hero.
Reserve time.
With their 4th pick here, we'll have to see where they find value for potentially the maybe hero, because I anticipate it's just going to be the Sylar Tiny, but well, we'll have to see. But on top of that, trying to see here. Oh yeah,
Dire team
it did so good last game.
Yep.
Let's just get it again. Shadow Fiend now going to be showing his ugly mug once more.
Does force him to decide who's going mid, because both Wisp Tiny and the Shadow Fiend kind of prefer the mid lane. But I think they could well just do Tiny in the safe lane if they wanted to, or they do Shadow Fiend in the safe lane as well. Can't really control the game as well from the safe lane as a Shadow Fiend, but you still can get your farm, and then I think this is going to be more about that mid-game kind of 5-man, or at least it's going to be like a... You go around with 3 with the Lina Shadow Fiend plus whatever Yao gets, and then the Wisp Tiny relocate in.
I am curious to see what ROTK is going to do here. Last time he rolled with the Tidehunter, but Darkseer could also come back again. Wall works good against someone like Tiny, who typically gets like an AC. You benefit from all that. You benefit from his ridiculous illusion, which could bring huge power. Could prove to be a bit of trouble if they do decide to keep Shadowfiend in the mid lane. They roll Tiny in the safe lane setup. He could have a bit of difficulty with the Ion Shell there, but Tidehunter was what he went with last time, and it looks like they'll hold off on the pick, at least for now, as Juggernaut is going to be the 4th pickup here for EHOME.
Okay, so just a stable carry, something I think they should have gone for back in what, it was game 2 when they went for that Wisp Sven, and I think Juggernaut would have been like a more stable pick, and Omni-Slash decent against the Tiny, although some of the damage can be negated by an overcharge and a Wisp tethering in, but just gives you a way to fight into him in melee range without having to worry about getting craggied up and stuff. So, a decent pick, I think, and just a safe, stable choice. Either this or the Troll, I feel like, needed to be picked up by EHOME. These are the 2 go-to carries for a reason. Now, both teams just seem to need their offlaners.
Yeah, and they're going to ban the Tidehunter, which is what he did run last time. So, outside of his other options, it's RTK, what he goes for. Typically... Doom, Darkseer, Clockwork's still out there as well, which I'm not too sure how much of an impact Clockwork would be able to have here.
I could see it working for LGD.
Team are now picking.
Yeah, I think it works better for LGD than EHOME, but EHOME more want that counter initiator. The Tide would have been great against the Wisp Tiny, but no longer an option. They might go back for the Darkseer, which has worked okay for them, but after RTK's last Darkseer, who knows if he still has confidence in it.
Ten seconds to pick.
Yeah.
5 seconds remain.
Even like Magnus, if you're LGD. Yao used to play a great Magnus, and you give the Empower to a Tiny, he hits like a truck at that point.
Only 10 seconds.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
I could see that being
hurry.
Oh, Sand King. So taking like the
team pick.
It seems Yao has been watching, or Zhao Eight's the drafter and captain. Seems like he's been watching some Empire games, because Empire were the ones who were running this Earthshaker offlane, Sand King offlane, and now it's Yao picking up those kind of Yoki type heroes for the offlane. So, all right, taking some tips from Team Empire.
Ten seconds to pick. 5 seconds remain. Reserve time. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry!
Okay. They'll maybe go for dual lanes here. I'm wondering what they have in mind. The Undying bottom with a Witch Doctor. In theory, they could even offensive Tri lane. Jug against Sand King is... I think it's one of those things where Yao is not really... Like, he's not known for his 1v1, like, individual skill. He's much more that clutch initiator, makes these big plays in team fights, but as far as his lane stage goes, I think that's one of the things that EHOME may want to take advantage of, like putting Jug in a 1v1 against Sand King and hoping that ZYF can maybe outlane Yao. And then you go for something like an offensive tri lane, but we'll see.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain.
Playing the Strength Morphling, which has also been popping
Let's get to it, shall we? "30 seconds to video games. 30 seconds.
Alright, well, dire side, Team EHOME. Down bottom, they've got Lamb playing the Earthshaker. The Lamb Shaker making its return, one of his famous heroes. Get some flashbacks to WPC where he was smashing monitors with this, and RTK going to be on your Undying. Witch Doctor in the hand of DDC, Inflame on the Queen of Pain. They're going to secure the bottom room, and finally, top lane, getting the other boundary room. ZYF playing the Jug, and he has got one of the coolest looking Jug swords I've ever seen.
Go well,
God,
then they could be stuck.
This thing's pimped out. Demons in prison. How do you imprison demons? Yep.
Looks like for now they might be just kind of scouting and
Yep.
One of us.
Alright. Yeah, we'll see how things go now. It looks like Earthshaker's going to stay, hang around bottom lane, leak some XP, and just offer that backup for RTK should he need it. Even comes in with a sentry to get the pool camp block off, so make life a bit harder for LGD down bottom.
Yes!
Yep.
Double damage!
Okay, so very just kind of peculiar lane set from EHOME. The Earthshaker just kind of helping out bottom lane a bit. Now he's going to swing mid, but I guess there is some kill potential onto the Shadow Fiend with a Fissure and the Queen of Pain with 2 points in Shadow Strike. The SF has to be very cautious here. And there we go.
First blood.
Very close.
First blood.
Yep.
Just a little.
If he had 10 more mana, I think he had that third T raise, the long raise. He got the other, he got the short raise and the medium raise off, but he just needed one more raise to get that kill. Unfortunately, I think EHOME knew that and took advantage of his lack of mana to get aggressive like that. But good pickup for EHOME. That gets him off to a good start. That's what you want from your Earthshaker with his rotation. Yep. Yep. The wonders of Dota TV audio sometimes. So, the Shadow Fiend dying there is not the biggest deal for LGD. They're already stacking up the jungle. They've got, like, what, triple stack or something waiting for him here at the big camp. He's not going to be too crippled by this. If anything, he's farming just fine. He's doing well in this mid lane, but he needs to be careful because more ganks are coming his way, with Undying even swinging into the mid lane as well. Maybe a 2 for nothing.
Double kill.
Dire's bottom tower under fire. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Now, at least going to be guarded as near.
They need to keep it up though, and that's where Tiny's getting his farm at
Dire's
bottom lane.
bottom tower under
We'll
fire.
see Shadow Fiend go back to the jungle probably fairly soon, just to, especially with Queen of Pain starting to get some levels. Queen of Pain going to hit level 6, and if Queen of Pain gets a bottle refill either at 6 minutes with a rune or just starts bottle crowing, that's where with a Sonic Wave plus Scream Threat, maybe cannot lane and mid lane really anymore whatsoever. But it looks like Yao on the Sand King going to take these jungle stacks. That really does, that actually hurts the Shadow Fiend. At the same time, it's like, where's Sand King getting his blink? He needs to do this. It's kind of like this. One of the big problems with the LGD lineup is that there's multiple heroes who want to take the jungle. Yep.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
So it looks like SF will take this other stack, so they are kind of spreading the wealth a bit, giving some to the Sand King, some to the Shadow Fiend. I think there is some merit to giving the Sand King a decent amount of farm to get his blink timing, but
Except
at the
your
same
first
time, you
blood
can't do
with
it
the
at the cost of
assistance.
the Shadow Fiend getting completely destroyed in his lane. So maybe at least now in a decent position, despite having to get his farm is still actually pretty solid. He's out CSing the Queen of Pain. Okay.
Never will you see my face.
That's where you'd love to have a bottle. You have a bottle there, you heal him back up, but Soaring doesn't really cut it.
Coming back once more, that could end up refreshing.
Not for you.
Bottom lane. More RTK gonna be brought down. That's another tiny combo. Has kind of unlimited mana thanks to the Wiz Soaring to keep throwing out these combos. So we'll see the cast bounce around, but they've already got the one kill, and I imagine they'll be looking for more soon. I feel like this may be a good game for Sale to go for the Blink Rush, although with that said, he just picks up a point booster. So he's going to rush the Acceptor, but when your teammates and your other cores are struggling, it is often good. Bottom river now, DDC caught out. Shadow Fiend gets a kill to his name, finds an Invis rune as well, and may turn and continue to fight. Inflame has the ulti, but Doesn't really want to go into this one. Sanking go, oh, Burrow Strike, not going to be enough. Okay. Feels like LGD have stabilized though. They've got the SF, just his treads, boots and all that. The Sonic Wave on cooldown is another big thing. It just gives them like a couple minutes of breathing room where the Queen of Pain can't solo kill the SF. I mean, can't really solo kill anyone now without the ultimate. You really need that burst damage if you want to go into kills on your own. So from that point of view, LGD are going to get their blink on the Sand King. SF can maybe pick up an Ogre Club or something now when he has the money for it. Just to tank up even further. That's going to be his job, just to tank up as much as possible. Tiny, Sylar, rushing an Acceptor is going to be your main target. Relocate top, they want in play, but that's not the relocate you're after! Onto a cliff!
Radiant have fortified their towers.
Yep, that's a mini-map click right there, I think.
Is under siege.
Oh dear. Yeah. I think he blinked to the top rune, so they're like, oh, he blinked to the top rune, let's go, because level 1 blink has that 15-second cooldown, so if you catch him out with that relocate, avalanche toss, it's a guaranteed kill, but a bit off point. Okay.
And
I feel like either the mech or the BKB rush is coming. The Chinese players don't really like the Yules build so much. They really like the mech. Like they go down, you blink, and some raises. That's your reveal of your Sand King blink. So that's a nice little gank and a big hero to be killing off as well. Bottom lane though, there's a potential Omnislide coming in. Relocating doesn't go, got cancelled.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Ownage.
Whoa.
Double kill.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Oh, Jug needs to be careful. He's got a Blade Fury, but here comes your Tiny chasing with an Avatos combo. Looks like Jug has got the movement speed to get out of here.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Side is about to hit level 5. Who
2
has
for
boot?
4 in favor of LGD. Misses the avalanche. Here we go, back bottom lane. Side wave on 2. That blob the Wisp, and Sylar may just need to TP the hell out of this bottom lane. Not looking like a safe place to be, but Witch Doctor, Death Ward, Sylar gonna proc down to the Maledict. This is looking like a dead Tiny. He's gonna pop.
Of death. Double kill. Killing spree. Double kill. Dominating. Triple kill.
Maybe just showing he can make the
Dial's
plays
top
happen whether
tower
he's
is
got the
under
good start or
siege.
not. Whether he's ridiculously farmed or he's under-farmed, he'll make those big plays. And suddenly he's got 4k gold out of nowhere.
I'll take that.
That's
as
probably
tribute.
just going to be a straight BKB, I imagine, getting picked up here.
Dire's top
That is
tower is
an
under
incredible
siege.
recovery from Shadowfiend.
Not going to be able to get it there. You know,
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
I think this is going to be a straight Hex. There's not much to block with the Lincolns. And I think the straight Hex against, like, so you can jump a BKB Shadow Fiend or deal with a Tiny may be slightly preferred.
Radiant's bottom tower
on
is
that,
being
but-
attacked.
The big turnaround this game have just come from these Sanking ganks. Twice, both of Inflame's deaths have happened in the last few minutes, and they've come from this Blink Burrow Strike,
Dire's middle tower
followed
is
up
being
by
attacked.
SF raises, and Inflame dying those 2 times has given SF a huge amount of
Dire
gold.
have fortified their
He cannot
towers.
afford to die here again in the mid lane.
Radiant's
That would
bottom
be
tower
really
under
bad,
fire.
but Sanking is in a fantastic
Dire's
position to get either
middle
a good
tower
FP
is
center or
being
even just the
attacked.
Blink Burrow Strike.
Mega
Radiant's
kill.
bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant's bottom tower is demolished. Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Yep.
The ones you love.
That's okay for EHOME. Yeah, so Sanking going on the Earthshaker. I guess he wasn't expecting the Queen of Pain to be there, but I think he needs to wait for a higher priority kill. Most likely the Queen of Pain or the Juggernaut. If he gets either of those with his Blink Burrow Strike and they get a quick kill, it's worth it. But going in on the Earthshaker doesn't really seem like the ideal
Radiant's
target.
middle
The only way
tower
that
is
works is if
taking
he's completely alone.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is being attacked. No more middle tower for Radiant.
no, as it's just kind of gone for now.
Dire's top tower is under siege. Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Yeah, they're quite far. They're playing a bit blind. I think they're going to go for the double T1 towers, top lane as well as mid lane. The fact no one's defending mid, this is a bit of a dead giveaway. They're going for Roshan, but LGD are like, we're playing blind. We haven't got vision of the pit. Let's just get these T1s and get out. They'll get the T1 mid, they'll back off, and it looks like top lane as well should be secured.
Going a
Glyph
blink
there.
dagger,
No
but
Glyph!
he wants.
What are you doing,
Dire's top
EHOME?
tower
That was a
has
free Glyph,
fallen.
but 2 T1 towers for Roshan, that's an acceptable trade for LGD.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Yep, he's on the courier.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Yeah, this is going to help a lot with that tombstone. Get the Wisp overcharge going as well. Just 2 points in the overcharge for now, but Wisp will look to stick around with his Tiny, see if any kills present themselves. Maybe the top lane Juggernaut. He's not the one with the Aegis. That's on your Queen of Pain, but go in with the Light Strike already. Not sure if it's going to matter. He goes for Manta. Can't really TP. I think the Tiny will just kill him if he goes for that TP. Can turn an Omni Slash when he gets a chance to do so. That Lina kind of salvaged that game because Yao actually missed his, it looks like.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Dire's structures are fortified.
House, they're not able to focus down to the grip.
Bottom tower under fire. Dire's bottom tower is in pieces.
Oh yeah. That's the crazy thing. Right now, LGD just picked off the Juggernaut top, took a tier 1 bottom tower, while EHOME have Aegis. Like, normally it's the team with Aegis who are controlling the tempo of the game, taking objective, forcing the other team to play scared, but LGD have great map vision, they've got deep wards up on the map, and they've just got this composition which has really come online. BKBSF, the timing,
As it does happen,
the timing.
ROTK.
This is really where their lineup shines. So they don't. That's why they were really happy to get those 2 tier 1 towers, because it gave them that gold boost and gave them some good map control to put down these deep wards. It was well worth giving up the Aegis to get that map control, because right now LGD is in a fantastic position. Don't think so.
Dire's top tower is
SF can't
being
TP,
attacked.
unfortunately, so
Radiant's middle tower is being
that's Shadow Fiend.
Dire's top tower is under siege. Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Double kill.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
That was just a let with die and you're fine kind of timing, but LGD tried to fight into that one. Yes, the Wisp got chased by a Flick Queen of Pain, but after that Sonic Wave, he was snapped off. SF had no TP. His TP was on cooldown for about 20 seconds when the Wisp was about to relocate back in, so without the SF, there was no way they could take that fight. That was a big freebie that LGD just handed EHOME, and a much needed team fight from EHOME, because they were kind of struggling to get much done with an Aegis, but luckily for them, LGD helped them out. Looks like EHOME, though, are building towards a late game. Undying picking up a 21-minute Midas after his mech is basically saying,
Likes
we
to go
can't win
right
this game, we
for
can't
the
push high
mech.
ground. Let's just farm for the late game.
Where were we? Radiant was pushing... Or was it? Okay, never mind. Everyone just go bottom. Oh, they're just toying with us now.
Yep. All it takes is one fight. LGD weren't planning on taking that fight. To be fair to LGD, their plan was just try and give Wisp a target to relocate back, to tether back to, as he did, and EHOME just chased. They dived in, and as soon as they dived in, LGD's like, well, they're diving in, let's try and fight with Epicenter. But the Epicenter damage could not out DPS the mech heals of the Undying, the just general tankiness of the Juggernaut and the Queen of Pain, so we're in a much more even game now. Shadow Fiend's still top of your net worth charts. He's looking fantastic, but as a whole, this is a game that's still far from over. I think you definitely need a BKB at some point. It's just a matter of when. I think BKB Abyssal is the build you want to go.
Do they consider contesting
Skydy's
this?
always nice as well, but I think you just need the BKB too much, and you want the Abyssal for lockdown. That goes through both the SF BKB and a potential tiny BKB lay down the lines. But the BKB against SF Requiem and Razors, Burrow Strike, Lina Nukes, Light Strike Array, Craggy is another big one where you really need the BKB. Juggernaut's going to struggle to attack the tiny without a BKB, so all they can really do to kill the tiny is Omni Slash him, especially when the tiny levels up this Craggy. So I think he's going to be probably prioritizing the BKB first and then going back to the Abyssal Blade, since generally the approach, at least by these Eastern teams, is to go for like the safer option and then build into your high damage item.
Mess up his last hit.
Ownage.
Radiant's top tower is
They'll
being
take a tier 1
attacked.
top lane, and LGD probably just want to watch this one fall and try to get farm elsewhere on the map, but just got their jungle to farm right
Radiant's
now.
top
Mid lane
tower
pretty
is
pushed
fallen.
out, and I guess they can rotate, swing towards bottom lane. Sylar just want to keep on farming on his tiny. Even just the levels right now is not quite where they want to be. Sylar's hit level 13, working towards that maxed out Craggy, and more importantly, I'd say the level 3 ultimate as well at this point, but outside of the Shadow Fiend, the hero levels may be a bit lackluster in some locations. Things starting to improve now that they've got a bit more
Dire's
space.
bottom tower is being attacked.
Haste.
Oh, relocate?
Cancels out the Requiem. Yeah, that's not TP.
Yep. Alright, not going to find a kill, but not too much loss from there.
Money to
You
burn.
do reveal that there's an Observe Ward there, which gets dewarded immediately. Not sure how much, I didn't check how much time was left on the Observe Ward. Maybe something that's like, oh, we'll reveal our ward there because it's about to expire. And now Tiny gets his AC, so. Yeah. Doesn't. Yeah. I don't think EHOME have any intentions of like trying to get a rack anytime soon, but their plan right now is to farm the map and find pickoffs. Ideally pickoffs on carries and key heroes here. The Shadow Fiend would be great. They're going to find the Tiny at mid. That's another great pickoff if they can get it. They're linking with an action. Sylar, where's that whiz? Relocate out. Fissure perfectly played by Urging. He's going to get both, and Sylar left to drop to an Omni Sack. Great play from Lamb. He was ready for it, and he got the cancel.
Illusion.
Oh. 5 seconds. Waited, guys. Oh. That's painful to see. I think they'll get it anyways.
Stops the three
Even
of
if
them.
they come back
And
when the
then
mirrors respawn, I don't think LGD can contest the very choice.
The bones will tell.
Up in smoke. My
Dire's
fever
middle tower is being
breaks.
attacked.
Things looking good for EHOME here. He went for a scout.
Unstoppable.
Whoa! Now we're talking. Yep.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
Yep. Yeah, maybe needs to find pickups like this, because otherwise it feels like EHOME have too much control right now. They're just out farming LGD to some extent. They've got Roshan control, they've got map control, and it looks like they're actually building towards a pretty scary late game. The fact Jug went for this Skadi means he has no real interest in getting items that will allow them to push and go high ground anytime soon, because without a BKB, he can't really fight the Tiny or the Shadow Fiend all that well. So the fact he went for a Skadi means he's going for a farming item. He's really going for that ideal 6-slotted Juggernaut build, and will take him another item or two to get there. So I think this is a fine build. It just affects the way EHOME have to play things, because they can't go for that let's group up as 5 and push high ground, even with an Aegis. I guess with an Aegis that could change things when Jug has 2 lives.
I think that's a smart choice there.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Yeah. Decent choice. Some more illusions just to tank the Omni Slash with. So if you get Omni Slash, you pop your Yules, the Yules end, you pop your Manta Style. Just spread the damage around and also make it a bit harder maybe for the Queen of Pain to get that fast Hex off on you if you can have the Manta up. Yep.
Dire's middle tower taking damage. Roshan has fallen to Dire. Dire's top tower is under siege. Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Just a little choppy here. We could get a
Deal with the Earthshaker rotation, but not that much damage done to the tier 3 high ground, so something EHOME are going to be happy to deal with, and hey, they can now look to make a play. They're going to smoke up with Aegis in hand, look to find pickoffs, look to find a way to break through this LGD defense. The problem is always going to be if you group up and show yourself 5-man pushing, suddenly your other 2 lanes that you're not pushing are getting dealt with by a Wisp Tiny split push. So they've got to find pickoffs before they can go for any kind of a play. And it looks like Silent may get caught out bottom lane, him and the Wisp. Gotta be careful.
Dire's top tower is under siege. Dire's top tower is being attacked. Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked. Radiant's Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Feels like it's
Radiant's
going to be a
bottom
big part of their
tower has
play if they
fallen.
want to win this game, is to resort to that. They don't have enough farm on like some of their heroes
Doubled
to
up
take
yet,
straight
but
up
once
team
it
fights. Like
is,
if
I
your
mean, that's
Lina had
even-
more farm, like was close to an Ag Scepter, maybe things to be a bit different. Joey actually, no, he's actually more than halfway there. He's got the point boost over
Dire's
club,
top
so I
tower
didn't
is
think it was
under
quite that
siege.
farm, but seeing that pressure now on, they've got to find a way to defend this bottom lane. They will do a lot of damage to the Jug on the front lines. Also, Blade Fury TP
Dominating.
Nice play. And bottom lane, they made a big mistake bottom lane. The Jug was Blade Fury TPing out, but what LGD didn't realize till too late was it was like a 5-6 second TP because he was TPing at the same tower, so they actually could have cancelled the TP after the Blade Fury. Maybe, I think, misclicked his BKB when he meant to Yules, because he BKB'd nothing. He just, right as the Jug TP'd out, he popped his BKB, and I'm like, I think he meant to use his Yules there to cancel the Jug's TP, but he could have actually cancelled the Jug's TP because of how long it was, and LGD missed a big opportunity there to kill the Jug. That would have been
bottom
2
tower
kills.
is
They could have
being
killed his
attacked.
Aegis as well as the hero again a second time if they needed to.
Dire's bottom tower under fire. Radiant's top tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Now, get back under.
Jug. That's nice. Great pickup.
Mega kill. In the fire. Sick. Killing spree.
That was just some sick
Radiant's
team fighting.
top tower
The,
is
the
under
tombstone
siege.
placement on the high ground, you're getting to the point where the tomb is just very easy to bring down, and it's most useful kind of for the slow coming out from the zombies. So put on the high
Radiant's
ground, just
top
get a few
tower is
zombies on
being
each hero to give the slow. The biggest thing was that fissure though. That 3-hero fissure from Lamb doing some serious work there, locking everyone down. So
Find him in the
the
woods
team fight
there,
of
and they
EHOME
take him
really
down.
showing its prowess here, and the Jug just kind of getting to a point where he's just a bit too damn farmed to be dealt with. Almost has the Abyssal Blade completed with his Skadi Manta Master Man. This is a bit worrying for LGD. This Tiny just isn't really cutting it in the late game. They've got Tiny and Shadow Fiend, but the coordination between LGD and these team fights isn't really there. I don't even know if they could be team fighting with this draft, but EHOME are forcing the fights.
What have we here?
Just in general, good game, especially with the Omni Slash. You pop your Masker Mantis Omni Slash, you can kill the Shadow Fiend probably, even with the Yule Scepter. The Yule Scepter will negate some of the damage, but the Omni Slash can keep on going through. The Tiny, he's got 20 plus armor with the AC, but he's still going to take a lot of damage to an Omni Slash, so that just allows you to fight these big frontline carries of LGD a lot easier with the Omni Slash. And uh-oh, top lane Inflame, he's caught out Yao. Sand King in trouble, Sonic Wave, whoa! Out.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Yeah.
Who's already on the way out is going to be
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Bottom lane. Blink Echo gets BKB dodged. Nice remaining. He'll wind up. Bring down one. Blinks out to the side. Sick plays from your Shadow Fiend. Gets the pick off. Was just a BKB for an Earthshaker. So your net result is nothing crazy or that impressive, but the play itself was pretty flash.
Down for what?
Yeah, probably butterfly evasion I think is the biggest thing. I mean, you got Hex to disable it, you've got nuke damage, but what else is going to help you? Skadi's the other option. So what's he bought? He's bought butterfly. This seems like the best item here. It's kind of, I feel like the BKB is so nice for your Jug this game, so you can just run in, fight the Tiny if he needs to, because right now he cannot really ever fight the Tiny all too well because of Craggy. Even like an SF Requiem can cause him problems, a Pyro Strike, so... Okay.
Unstoppable.
Yep. The other item that's nice on Jug is Blink Dagger, which is always... No, it's fun to see, but it's also very viable as far as what it offers you. Yasha.
Double damage.
Roche is back up, and it looks like Jug with a DD room going to make quick work of that. Picks up his Quelling Blade and slice and dices Roshan in no time at all. This is Jug basically soloing Roshan.
Dire had laid Roshan to eternal slumber for 8 to 11 minutes.
EHOME won in Game 5. They're in a great position to do so. AC complete on your Queen of Pain. You've got your Aegis on Jug. This is really time to start 5. This is where you actually can 5-man. You've got the Shivers on your Undying.
Attacked.
You've got to deal with the creep equilibrium, because you look at top lane, it's already pelting away on your tier 4 towers. So you've got to push things out before you can go for that big 5-man push. But if you can get your lanes and equilibrium in a place where lanes are pushed out and you can go for a push, I don't think LGD have a way to take the 5v5 team fight.
Regeneration.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Even pops his BKB, but the blink in wreck.
A pretty big late game pickup, but Lina Scepter, so there's some good burst damage to go through the BKBs. Not quite level 16, but should be able to get that at top lane if he thinks it's safe to go up there and farm, which, well, it may be for now, but probably not for much longer. Here comes EHOME.
Radiant's top tower is under siege. Radiant structures are fortified.
And RTK's farm, like this Midas has paid off.
Radiant's top
brought him up
tower
to
is
this
being
BKB
attacked.
shivers. He's only used the BKB once all game, but he's just built all these items to pick this game this late in the
their
game.
top
Didn't
tower.
plan on ending the game early as an Undying, which is normally a problem, but he's itemized such that he can fight in the late game.
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
ZYF is like, I'll take the silver.
He needs to TP back, because you want the Tiny to be split pushing, so you want to relocate the Tiny in and have him, like, backdoor the base. In theory, you relocate top.
Top tower is under siege. Radiant's top tower is being attacked. Radiant has lost their top tower.
EHOME, go for it. LG.
I felt like they should just... I think the Wisp needs to push up bottom a bit further, then TP back with the creep from high. They blink it, maybe with a BKB Rec Room, but just no damage coming out of here. Shadow Fiend. They all dodge it with a BKB on Inflame and RTK as well as Blade Fury from your Jug. Silo hanged up, he may fall, and with this, LGD, they may be done for. Nice relocate out, but it's not enough blink. Can't go last, brings down your Tiny. Man, it looks all over. I think we're going to a game 5 to go.
Monster kill.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Worthy tribute.
No, but not at all. Not when you've got a Wisp
on the way
Tiny,
out.
You've got a Shadow Fiend as fast as maybe is. Tiny unfortunately takes a hit because he died back there. Big hit to his economy. I guess he's getting close to that max out Tiny anyways, but would like to finish off that 6 item slot. Probably with something like a Daedalus or some kind of physical damage. For now, we have to farm it up. Roshan will reclaim the Aegis, so no Aegis for now, but
Money to burn.
ZYF says, no problem, I'll just replace this with an MKB so I can fight this Shadow Fiend a bit better.
When they scout out EHOME, try to get something done.
Illusion.
Okay.
Or an MMY, they lose
I think
MMY.
it's just going to be about a waiting game for Roshan, then you go for another high ground push. They'll even have a few more big late game items. Undying with an Aghanim Scepter. You throw in all that damage bonus as well, and I don't even know if Jug is taking the Aegis anymore. He's 6 slotted and probably quite happy with his current item set. It doesn't feel like he's going down whatsoever. We saw in the last fight, he's just someone unkillable. Hey, maybe not wait for Roshan. I think they're actually going now. Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
They thought they had the real Jug, I think. That was odd. I think it was like a let's fire Red Cream and kill this Jug, but that was not the real Jug. Oh. EHOME are just playing this. I mean, from like 20 minutes in, they just knew this was going late game. They said, look, we're not really ending this game like we maybe want to with Undying. Let's gear up, play for the late game, get map control, get all these big scary late game items in. You're not seeing the conventional builds, like an AC on your Queen of Pain with a BKB, much more this like ultra late game type build, and the same with the Undying, and LGD just don't have what it takes. They don't have the same kind of farming efficiency. They're in trouble.
Though of LGD.
Yep. Low and steady, and they're not getting great farm on the EHOME side, but they also know LGD are forced to stay kind of huddled up, and they're not getting much farm themselves, so they want to go now with a minute and a half on this tiny buyback, still short on money. They're ready to break through fairly soon, it feels like. Rec Room is back up though. I guess wanting the Jug to have Aegis just so he can high ground siege, put him on the high ground, you don't have to worry about that. What they attempted before, the Burrow Strike Requiem, if you get that, Jug will die with the Laguna Blade as well. There is enough burst damage to kill him once, but killing him twice with an Aegis, that is seemingly unlikely. And well, they're going to 3-4-man push bottom lane. Jug has the boots of travel rate.
Pace here, he'll finish out an Abyssal.
Queen of Pain making her way down bottom. I think we may need a... Yeah, I'm getting a bit of that too.
He's gonna be able to slip out of there. Oh.
Yep. For LGD though, they use their BKB on the Shadow Fiend, they use their Laguna, so next creep wave could see a small little timing window where EHOME, I mean, there's no reason not to just put the Jug on the higher ground, right click in this tower. There is a glyph, but hey, you've got to go through that glyph at some point. He's just going to blade to right click the tower. But, oh, that's a lot of right click damage on your Jug, though. Good hold from LGD. It's
maybe.
They didn't even have to glyph that. That's actually really solid from them. I'm not sure how much EHOME can continue. They may just throw like Manta Illusions in and chip away with the Queen of Pain, but Jug, one Burrow Strike Laguna and we're looking at a dead Juggernaut.
Radiant has fortified their towers. go. My final ritual.
Okay.
Easier. Throws out a quick abyssal and
All right. Well, it's game on still, because, yeah, you had to use a couple buybacks on LGD, but Jug bought back, wanted to end the game with his buyback, I think. I think his TP got cancelled to a creep. I went back to him, and he's stuck in the base with his TP before that. So his TP must have either got cancelled by the creep dying, or he cancelled himself. But if he got back in there with an Omni Slash, killed either the Shadow Fiend or the Tiny, it's probably game over. But Jug buying back essentially wasted because he couldn't get back into that fight.
Once again, Digital Sports.
Righty, well, see how things progress from here. It's a 20k net worth lead, but it's feeling like a much harder than that game to end for EHOME. That was like the big push. They had Aegis, they had Cheese, they had Refresher on their Queen of Pain, Jug with his 6 slot of items, but it didn't work. So they'll get their next couple of items, which is coming on the supports and the utility heroes. Undying gets a Halberd. Your Witch Doctor maybe gets like a Blink. Your Earthshaker, well, he maybe gets some items here. We'll see what happens next. But for LGD, they still got some room to grow, including on their cores. You've got Tiny getting closer and closer to a Daedalus now.
5:30 minutes
could get a lot
time.
scary in that
Game
next team fight if he's got that extra damage item. That's a problem.
Mega kill.
Okay.
Ecstasy of agony.
They may go for the throne. Yeah, that was tough. Yao saw so many heroes. It's where you see 4 heroes grouped up. You try to go for the Fire Strike to catch as many as possible, and somehow you like weave in between all the heroes and hit nothing. Oh, he's the initiator. He's the insta-stun that has to land, and then you have to follow up Lena stun, Light Strike Array, Dragon Slave, Laguna, and then Requiem and right click. Fire Strike missing is like, that's the most important spell in team fight for LGD is Fire Strike, and when that misses, the fight's